there are two types. I think majority are used to, well, math people, they are very mathematical, scientific, and think things in this logical way, and think math is beautiful or useful, and they have their own view, and their training, their background usually do not emphasize too much on connecting mathematics to other general area. So a majority of the colleague would favor spending more time or effort in pushing that direction, the technical direction, which is what we mathematicians always enjoy. But on the other hand, there are people, and it is rightfully, some people, they like the subject. They just like the subject that they want to tell people, spread the gospel, so to speak, that this is a beautiful subject, and not only its own beauty, but it's connected to different things. So for that kinds of colleagues, they are eager, willing to investigate, maybe because of the GE requirement or the development, or independently, just try to make connection of that. So I encounter both types of colleagues, but I have to say that majority is still in the mathematical world, thinking about technical thing is more important, depriving students from the disciplinary material to teach general education course, not in math. Some other thing might work into the curriculum would not be preferred. And also, it is to make it extreme, it's a waste of time for mathematicians to think about general education course to tell the public. So that is the kinds of extreme attitude, which I don't agree, and then think need a lot of work to change it. Yeah. So this is mathematics in daily life, and then that is exactly my belief that math is not only useful, beautiful, but it's actually connected to things. So I try to tell students and tell them that mathematics is useful and related to many different disciplines, and not only give them the idea that the connection can be made, can be useful, and I hope that the training, actually the student will also do presentation, not only myself, but they themselves have to do presentation and find connection of mathematics and other subjects, and really mathematics can be replaced by anything. It's a certain subject, despite its own beauty and technicality and deep theory one can develop, and the connection to other areas is extremely important in my opinion. So students taking my course, perhaps they learn more tricks or learn more ideas about connecting mathematics and other subjects, and I'm hoping that in the future in other study they can have this kinds of practice, that they can think, or so to speak, think outside the box, that they can make connection. They study English, they can make English connected to other subjects. If they study chemistry, human science, they can always make connection. And I think that is one important thing about general education, that we do not, unlike disciplinary special discipline, that you train students with some techniques in certain things, but you tell them that you can make connection of different things, which will greatly enhance your understanding of the world, your study, your education. Absolutely, yes. Number one, I'm limited by my time. So far, January to now is 5 months. But even in my course, some students already, I try to recruit them and then encourage them to think about new open program. And I invite a guest speaker, a friend from Iowa State University, to give a talk on some basic math problem, which is not really the groundbreaking types of research, but it contains some open program. And in some of my presentation or in students' presentation, I try to extract some question, natural question that mathematicians always would wonder, puzzle about, and that can lead to undergraduate research projects. And so far, one of the students in my class actually are linked with the professor I mentioned just now from Iowa State U, and even a high school student from another source I get in touch with, actually really is my friend who I have contact with, and they form a team, try to investigate some research program. The potential, yes, technical is well known that the Asian region, including Hong Kong, for example, mathematics standard is above average in general, and they have no chance to see how research is done. In America, it is a very popular trend that people do undergraduate research, like in my home university. Many students, over 70% of students do undergraduate research in mathematics, even a technical subject. We are training many students to do research, publishing paper, and so forth. The process itself, I think, is extremely inspiring. And many friends ask me, well, how can you lead students to do research project in such a technical subject. But I always tell them you just observe how I meet with students and discuss problem, and you see that it is not difficult at all. You have different level of way to arouse the interest of student, the creativity, the curiosity of student. And once you open that box, then there's no end of study and thinking about problems. And not 100% of the students have to do math research, but some of them, they have that inclination, they have that kind of ability, and there are many ways to encourage them to do that. And I think yes, there are lots of potential, but I also have to talk about I have some reservation. Perhaps in Hong Kong there are some limitation, so people are not used to see this kinds of thing, and also the society perhaps is too goal-oriented, so people study quickly, get a degree, and then do this and that may leave not so much room for people to develop that. But I think in the proper setting, with the encouragement of the university, even the government, instructors, I think that could be done, and I'm glad that I'm working in UST, which actually have such a program, which is very encouraging.